I often get asked if the vaccine trials were rushed, as many people are very surprised that we were able to get a vaccine about a year from the pandemic started. What I would like to share with everybody is that the vaccine trials were not rushed. Any medication or any treatment that we get through vaccine or not, that we get through the FDA has to go through a very rigorous preclinical trials and then the clinical trials that have to demonstrate that the vaccine or the treatment is not only safe, that it's effective, and it's actually effective in the population that we would like for it to give its benefit. So that translates into a step 1 or phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 clinical trials. With the COVID-19 vaccines, they went through all the clinical trials as they should have. The difference here is that in previous times, we would finish phase 1, have to publish the results, have to gather funding to go into the second clinical trial. And there was always a pause and a delay between clinical trials. In this format, because of the urgency of having something for the pandemic, things were lined up pretty quickly and money really was not an issue, which it always has been in the past. So that is why it feels like it was rushed, because it was done so quickly, but it just tells you that there's ways that we can do things more efficiently. So they are safe, they are effective. We have many people who have received these vaccines. So there is no question about the safety. Not only in the clinical trials did we have nearly 100,000 people participate, so about 40,000 plus in the Pfizer, the Moderna, and another 40,000 plus in the Johnson & Johnson trials, and now even more with the children being studied to make sure it's safe and effective in them as well. So we have that population that was under were monitored very closely, but we also have the over 300 million doses that have been given in this country alone. And we can tell you that because we do have a very strong monitoring system for physicians or for patients to report when they've had adverse effects, these monitoring systems have not shown side effects that would prohibit the vaccine to be continued to be given. One of the things that often gets asked is, where do I find the right information? How do I trust the information that I am seeing or reading? And with the understanding that in modern times, we get a lot of our information on our social media feeds. And so what I would encourage the viewers to know is that there are certain things that we definitely want to make sure that we know is trusted and safe. For example, our website, combatcovid.hhs.gov, is a website that was created in partnership with the National Institutes of Health and the CDC, so that we can make sure that information that is on the website is scientific, true, and accurate, and also up to date. When we rely on other sources like something that comes up on your social media feed that is not necessarily linked to one of these websites, like the CDC or the National Institutes of Health, you have to question a little bit about where people are getting their information. So I would highly encourage you, if you don't trust the website I'm discussing with you, the combatcovid.hhs.gov, I would go to your provider, to your medical provider, to someone that you trust that is in the medical field and say, hey, what website do you use? And that should be the website that you go to for your information. The only reason to not be able to take the vaccine from the medical standpoint is if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or any component of the vaccine. That usually requires you to have taken at least one shot. So the CDC website has a very wonderful and thorough explanation of why it's safe to give vaccines, even in people who've had food allergies or are allergic to have seasonal allergies. We have ways of monitoring those patients who receive the vaccine to see if they will have a side effect. And the majority of the patients will do just fine.